But I don't want to get caught up too much on talking about just the bad cops, because in fairness, there are a lot of liberal talking points about police that some are just wrong and some are just deeply misconstrued about police shit. But I think that we can overall agree that cops get a lot of shit. They're under a lot of scrutiny. And I'm not saying that's not for good reason. But I think that when that's, especially when we're in an environment when animosity towards police and distrust towards police is so prevalent, I think that it's important also to make sure that we look at examples of good cops also. Because we can talk for days about how crappy the police system works. And we can talk for days about how shitty this phrase defund the police is and what it would actually mean to reallocate funds that are currently going to police departments and put those towards better uses. We can have a conversation about that. But there are certainly some arguments that people make on the left where they just shit on cops. It's just that cops are these pieces of shit. Fuck the cops. And they have that rhetoric a lot. And so that's why I think that when there is a lot of animosity, it's important that we remember that not all cops are bad. We can criticize the system of policing while recognizing that there are individuals that are in that system that, although the system might be doing harm in the way that it's being used, there are still people within that system that are genuinely trying to do the right thing. So I think that there's a lot of nuance there, and it does get really complex, and we're not about to have a long-ass conversation about the history of police and racism and all that shit. Quite honestly, I am not researched enough to have that conversation just yet. But I have done some pretty good research on it, and you can criticize the system of policing while also recognizing that there are some good officers and genuine people that are really out there and are willing to lay their lives on the line, and when push comes to shove, they're willing to get down and dirty when it comes to protecting other people. And I think that that's commendable and should be recognized as well. And that's why I think it's so great that this Capitol officer is being recognized and is also being honored to a great degree. Now, he needs to get honored in with more than just social media recognition. And this brave officer alone fought off an angry mob breaching the Capitol. The video... Whoa, turn that down a little bit. We're going to go through the video here. I know there's going to be some people now that are listening on Spotify, and if you are listening on Spotify, then I love you. So if you're watching this live, cool, you're getting to see the video. If not, I guess I can briefly describe it. I mean, look, he's alone. Like, is this guy even armed? Look at that. I mean, that's a pretty harrowing scene right there. This lone officer just standing here alone, trying to just back up. He keeps taking steps back. Look, he just picks some shit up off the ground. I mean, my God. He's like grabbing sticks. He's running back. So he sees the hall that leads to a Senate chamber here. He looks to the left. He then walks in the other direction. Look at that. And this guy, his job was to protect the people inside, not the building. He purposely brought them the opposite direction. Eugene Goodman. And this guy is a good man. What a fitting last name. They have not publicly identified yet. Okay, well. I think there was a interview with him too that I'd like to listen to. Okay, we know about all this
people yelling, so I assumed that something was going on that I should check out, and that's when walked into that congregation.
I don't care
they
about
were
you.
Screaming that we need justice and we don't need justice.
Can we do we have an interview with the actual guy? So eventually backup officers did arrive, but I mean, it really is a very intense and harrowing scene, just seeing the lone officer trying to push them away. I watched a documentary this morning that went into some detail about this as well, and there were some clips of him like demanding backup and pulling back, and I mean the fact that he picked up like a stick on the ground makes me wonder, is this guy armed? Did they throw that at him? It's a very harrowing scene, and ultimately it's a great deal of heroism that really should be recognized. And that's part of the reason is that I want to kind of hammer on this so hard is that I think it's important to remember that like these are also our police. Not all of our police are bad, horrible, racist people or whatever. But yeah, very very harrowing footage. This was filmed by a reporter. Footage we just watched. Seeing if there's any more detail here. At one point, Goodman arrives at a landing. He then leads the riders to the right, away from the Senate chambers and their targets. Whew. Damn. Party of law and order, guys. Funny how it's all about law and order and respecting the police when it's black people, and then when it's a bunch of redneck cucks raiding the Capitol, suddenly, goes out the window.